She said it was a girls-only trip, but the photos showed her on the beach with her ex. I didn't argue. I waited for her return, handed her a box, and when she asked what it was, I answered without hesitation. I'm 31 years old, an electrician, and I own my own business. I'm doing well, billing around $95,000 a year. I had been dating Camilla, 26, for about 14 months. She works in real estate and earns good commissions when the market is hot. We'd been living together at my place for about 6 months. Everything seemed fine, a stable relationship with the usual day-to-day stuff. She contributed to groceries and utilities, helped around the house, nothing that raised red flags. Last Monday, Camilla came home excited about a trip her friends were planning. Apparently, Lucia, one of her friends, was organizing a weekend in Miami to celebrate her birthday, 3 days of a nice hotel, beach, spa, the works. I asked when it was happening, Thursday to Sunday. It was sudden, but I had no reason to distrust her. How much will it cost? I asked. About $1,000 total for flights, hotel, food, and activities. Lucia's covering part of it since it's her birthday. $1,000 for 3 days was steep, but Camilla had been working hard lately, so I figured she deserved a break. I told her to enjoy it, that she earned it. Thanks, love. I know it's expensive, but Lucia wants to make it special, she said. The night before the trip, she showed me the outfits she'd packed for each occasion: beach, dancing, fancy dinners. She was genuinely thrilled. You're going to have a blast, I said. It's been so long since I've done something like this with the girls, she replied. Thursday morning, I drove her to the airport. She kissed me before getting out of the car, promising to text when she landed and send me photos. Miss me while I'm gone, she said with a laugh. Always do, I replied, watching her head into the terminal with her suitcase. That night she texted me saying she'd arrived safely and the hotel was gorgeous. She even sent a photo from her room: ocean view, palm trees, a perfect Miami sunset. Friday morning she posted stories from the beach with Lucia and 2 other coworkers I knew. Drinks, sun, smiles, everything seemed fine. Friday night she shared more photos from a fancy dinner, the 4 friends dressed up, celebrating Lucia's birthday. It all matched what she'd told me. But Saturday something felt off. I was working when I noticed new notifications. Camilla had posted more photos by the hotel pool. One showed her laughing with someone off frame, only a male arm visible, with a very recognizable tribal tattoo. It took me a moment, but then it clicked. It was the same tattoo Daniel, her ex from a couple of years ago, had. I thought I might be overthinking it, but later that day, I checked Daniel's public profile. There it was, a story from the same pool at the same time, captioned "Perfect Weekend." That was more than a coincidence. That afternoon, I dug deeper into his profile. His latest post was a selfie from a Miami beach, time-stamped and located at the same place as Camilla's photos. He also had pictures from the same restaurant the girls had been at on Friday, and more from what was clearly the same hotel. No doubt about it, he was there on the girls-only trip. Sunday morning, I found the final proof. Lucia posted a group photo by the hotel pool, 7 people, the 4 girls and 3 guys, including Daniel with his arm around Camilla's waist, looking like a couple. The caption read, "Best birthday with my favorite people." I took screenshots of everything before they could be deleted. That night, Camilla texted me saying her flight was delayed, but she'd be home around 11 p.m. "I have so much to tell you. I missed you so much." I didn't respond. Instead, I spent the evening packing her things: clothes, personal items, makeup, everything she'd brought to my house over the past 6 months. I took photos to document what was hers and what wasn't. Update: Camilla arrived around 11:30 p.m., looking tired but still buzzing from the weekend. I was waiting in the living room with a single box on the table. "Hey love, I missed you so much," she said, dropping her luggage and coming in for a hug. I didn't hug her back. "How was the girls' trip?" I asked, keeping my tone neutral. "Amazing. Miami was spectacular. The hotel, the beach, the food. It was the best birthday Lucia's ever had," she said, kicking off her shoes. "Just the 4 of you." I pressed, "Yeah, just us girls," she replied with a smile. "No worries, no guys, just relaxing and having fun." I picked up the box on the table. "And this box, what do you think it's for?" She looked confused. "No idea." "Why?" "Because it's yours. Everything in it belongs to you. In fact, there are more boxes by the door." Her face changed instantly. "What do you mean, my stuff?" "I mean your belongings. Everything you've brought to my house over the past 6 months is packed and ready to go." "Ryan, what's going on? Why are you packing my things?" she asked, her voice rising. "Why did you lie about your trip?" I replied bluntly. "I didn't lie," she shot back, almost offended. I pulled out my phone and showed her the screenshots, one by one: Daniel carrying her luggage on the beach, Daniel sitting next to her at the restaurant, Daniel with his arm around her in the pool. "Care to explain how your ex ended up on your girls-only trip?" Her face went pale. "It's not what it looks like," she said, her voice softer. "Then what is it?" Daniel just happened to be in Miami that weekend. It was a coincidence. A coincidence that he's at your hotel, carrying your bags, dining with you, and hugging you by the pool. We ran into him at the hotel. Lucia invited him to hang out with us for a bit. It wasn't planned. Lucia invited your ex to a girls-only weekend. It wasn't like that. He was with his friends, we were with ours. We just ended up hanging out. Hanging out how? As friends, nothing more, I swear. I showed her another photo. Look at this post from yesterday. Same pool, same time. Caption says, "Getaway with my favorite people." Some coincidence. Ryan, please, you're misinterpreting everything. Then help me understand how your ex ended up on a trip you swore was just you and your friends. I didn't know he'd be there. When we saw him, Lucia thought it'd be fun to invite him. And you didn't think to mention it to me. I didn't want to worry you over something unimportant. So you chose to lie instead. I didn't lie, I just omitted that detail. You omitted spending the whole weekend with him. Showed more photos, Friday dinner, Saturday beach, Saturday night, Sunday pool. That sounds like the whole weekend to me. She broke down crying. Ryan, I swear nothing happened between us. We're just friends now. Friends who lie to their partners. I was going to tell you when the time was right. The right time was 3 days ago when it happened. I knew you react like this. React like someone who doesn't want their girlfriend vacationing with her ex and lying about it. You're acting jealous. I'm acting like someone who was lied to. There's a big difference. She wiped her tears. So this is a breakup. I'm ending this because you lied about spending the weekend with Daniel. Please, Ryan, I messed up by not telling you, but nothing happened. The issue isn't whether something happened. The issue is you chose to lie. I won't see Daniel again if that's what you want. What I want is a partner who doesn't lie about spending a weekend with their ex. I can be that partner. This was a misunderstanding. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a choice. You chose to hide it. Where am I supposed to sleep tonight? That's not my problem anymore. You should have thought of that before lying. I walked to the door and opened it. Your boxes are here. Update: the days after were exactly what you'd expect from someone caught lying. Monday morning, Camilla called from wherever she was staying. Ryan, I've been thinking about all this. I know I should have told you Daniel was there. You should have told me before you left. I didn't know he'd be there. Camilla, don't give me that. Daniel doesn't just magically show up at the same hotel, same weekend, same activities. That coincidence doesn't exist. Maybe Lucia knew he'd be there. So Lucia planned for your ex to join and none of you thought to tell me. It wasn't like that. Then what was it? Silence. Long silence. I don't know exactly how it happened. You don't know how your ex ended up spending the whole weekend with you. Ryan, can we get past this? I swear I'll be completely honest from now on. You had 14 months to be honest. You chose to lie. Was it a mistake? No, the mistake was getting caught. If it weren't for the photos, you'd never have told me. That's not true. Then when were you going to tell me? When I figured out how to explain it without making you mad. In other words, never. That's not fair. What's not fair is lying to someone while you spend a weekend with your ex. Tuesday, she tried a different approach. She showed up at one of my job sites during lunch, looking urgent, like everything could be fixed with one conversation. We need to talk properly about this, Ryan, she said. I think we talked enough Sunday night, I replied, not eager to drag this out. I want to explain what really happened. You already did. You said Daniel showed up by chance at your hotel, and by chance you spent the whole weekend with him. It's more complicated than that, she muttered. Then came the story. Daniel was going through a rough patch. His job wasn't going well, his personal life was a mess, and Lucia, feeling sorry for him, invited him to join some of the trip's activities. Yeah, the girls-only trip. What activities exactly? I asked coldly. Just Friday's dinner and some time by the pool, she said, looking down. I pulled out my phone and showed her the photos again. Saturday morning, afternoon, night, and Sunday morning. That doesn't look like a couple of activities, I said. She went quiet for a moment before admitting, maybe we spent more time together than I first said, but it was just as friends. Friends you lie to your partner about. I didn't want to hurt you over something that didn't matter, so you chose to lie and hurt me over something that did matter. Ryan, I swear I love you. Daniel, in the past. That same past you chose to spend a whole weekend with without telling me. It won't happen again. No, it won't, because we're done. Please don't throw away 14 months over one weekend, she begged, tears in her eyes. I didn't throw anything away. You did when you chose to lie. She started crying harder. I have nowhere to go. You should have thought of that before prioritizing your relationship with Daniel, knowing it risked ours. He wasn't more important than you. Your actions say otherwise. I turned and went back to work. She left shortly after. Update asterisk. Since ending things with Camilla, life been much calmer. It's amazing how much stress fades when you stop wondering what your partner's next lie will be. As expected, her housing situation got messy fast. The first week, she stayed with Lucia, but having a friend crash after a breakup isn't as easy as it sounds. The second week, she tried staying with a coworker, but that didn't work out either. Being the friend who lied about her ex doesn't exactly inspire trust. Eventually, she moved back to her parents' place while looking for something she could afford on her own. Her relationship with Daniel didn't survive the return to reality either. He was happy to have a good time in Miami, but wasn't ready to deal with the fallout. Gradually, her friend group started drifting away. Even Lucia ended up regretting whatever role she played that weekend. Camilla tried reaching out a couple of times through mutual friends. Same story, she messed up. Daniel meant nothing. She'd be honest now, but it was too late. I met someone new recently. Michelle's a nurse, lives on her own, pays her own bills. I told her about Camilla, and her response was spot on. If someone lies about their ex, it's because they haven't moved on. My revenge wasn't dramatic or flashy. I simply refused to accept being lied to and let Camilla face the consequences of her choices. She wanted a weekend with Daniel while keeping me as her emotional safety net, thinking I'd never find out. But she did it because Instagram tags don't lie, even if people do. Camilla had the chance to be honest about Daniel's presence on the trip. She chose to hide it. I had the choice to tolerate the lie or protect my dignity. I chose the latter. She got her fun weekend and lost the relationship she could have come back to. The moving boxes were just a physical representation of what she'd already done to us by choosing to lie. It's a perfect lesson in why honesty matters more than any weekend getaway. She said it was a girls-only trip, but her posts told a different story. She chose Daniel over the truth. I chose the truth over her. Sometimes the best justice is refusing to accept a lie and letting the liar live with their own decisions. Camilla learned that lies don't last forever, especially when they're documented by others on social media, unknowingly helping to reveal the truth. The photos told the real story of that weekend. The boxes told the real story of what it cost.